rights are going to be violated continuously because it's not enough to have those freedoms in the constitution. No. Because I think we inherited a colonial system which has been very hard to change. And despite having the new constitution in 2010, so much has not changed. You saw that state was part of what Matiang'i was running, misusing the security apparatus. And that is exactly what is happening in the current regime.
Ramakei Online.
My name is Davis Malombe. I'm the Executive Director of Kenya Human Rights Commission. So today we are here to launch the gallery and also be part of the commemoration of the life and the struggles of Pio Gamapido, who was one of the foremost fighters for independence and also the post-independence impunities. Kenya Human Rights Commission has been running initiatives on transitional justice, which is about looking at the past, and we have worked a lot in terms of even seeking truth and justice around people who are assassinated. So we have worked on Pio Gamapido, we have worked on JM Kariuki, we have worked on Tomboya, and even some who are killed in the 90s. So we have been part of that. But apart from the political assassinations and also other kinds of gross human rights violations, both historic and also emerging. Let me say something about the entire agenda. So I think at KHRC, we have dedicated the next 2 years for remembering, commemorating, and liberating the country. So we want to be documenting, organizing, and convening around the struggles of this country, political, constitutional, among others. And apart from that, also connecting the struggles. So the struggle which Pio Gamapido was part of was the struggle which Mau Mau had started and was not finished. And the people who came later and they were arrested by Kenyatta, they were also part of that struggle. The ones we have been working with, the Nyaos here, the people who are taken to Nyaos, to the chambers, were also part of that struggle. The one who picked the Katiba struggle also took it to the next level. And then some of us have also been part of this struggle for the last 30 years. So we just want to show how this has been a pattern for the last 120 years for the country, so that people can learn that fighting for freedoms and good governance actually is the political culture of this country. Because people wonder how comes Kenyans are so vibrant, so robust. It's because it is part of our political DNA and also part of the history. So that when people now are saying now we organize in the context of the current problems of the country, all we need to do is just learn from the past. Because every decade has been a period of fighting for good governance from 1900 to date. So we just need to learn from our past, document it, learn from it, then let it inspire us to keep on fighting against the emerging injustices in the country. So not reinventing the wheel, because our people have fought the worst battles for the last 120 years. It's just learning and getting inspired. I think what has happened is what Odinga called not yet Uhuru. So I think we fought for independence, political independence, but I think we never got a chance to restructure the colonial state. Because I think we inherited a colonial system which has been very hard to change. And despite having the new constitution in 2010, so much has not changed. It's because the political infrastructure, the political and economic infrastructure of the state has remained intact. And that's why some of us think part of that can only be changed through an evolution, not through reforms. Actually, we inherited a system which is driven by the interests of the elite. Actually, if we can go back to that, the colonial state was a political and economic system to advance the interests of the few white people. So that kind of system was adopted after independence. So it is the reason then freedoms have not been properly secured, because that state has remained intact. You saw that state was part of what Matiang'i was running, misusing the security apparatus. And that is exactly what is happening in the current regime. So this culture of impunity from independence, and before independence, after independence, up to now, is because of the political system we have. So the constitution is not enough. We need to have more political education, we need to have more political organizing so that we can finish this kind of political behavior, political system, and political culture. Otherwise, without that, rights are going to be violated continuously because it's not enough to have those freedoms in the Constitution. No.
Okay.
To me, we must remain vigilant and resistant and rebellious because there is no political freedom which is sustained by being complacent and being complicit. Because I think Kenyans now are becoming a bit afraid or more comfortable. So this is the time now people need to raise up and protect the ideals of independence and also the ideals of the Constitution of Kenya. Actually, in terms of rights, Article 19 of the Constitution of Kenya says the Bill of Rights is going to be the basis for making social, economic, and cultural policies. That is not followed. It means when the government is making any decision, it's supposed to be driven by the human rights frameworks which are in the Bill of Rights. So I think we just need to put life to those provisions of a very radical and progressive constitution. So I think we have the software and the hardware. What we need is the right politics. Yeah, I think we are in a better space to take Kenya to the next level because we have the best constitution. But if we don't fight for it and the rights which are entrenched there, we are going to go back to where we have come from, and we have seen that because the leaders we always choose, they have a mentality of impunity. So they always take us back to where we have come from. So let's keep on fighting, let's remain strong, and also remain inspired because we are not the first ones to have fought these battles. Yeah, the past should be able to inspire us to fight more because our people succeeded under more difficult circumstances. So I think sisi kazi yetu, mimi naambianga watu when I'm speaking to people, kazi yetu ni rahisi sana. Watu wetu kama kitu Kayageri hapa walikuwa wanapigana, hali ilikuwa ngumu sana. Hakukuwa na katiba ya kuwatetea, hakukuwa na international human rights frameworks za kuwatetea, hakukuwa na civil society ya kuwatetea. Sasa sisi tuko na kila kitu. Kile kinatushinda tu ni uzembe. We are just failing to raise up. Let's do that. It's very simple. And me, I'm keen to be part of that fight. I've been there for the last 25 years. Gito here has been there for the last 80 years. So it should be part of our inspiration. Our people cannot fight for more than 20 years nowadays. You fight kidogo, una retire, you go to other businesses. So that's what I will request fellow Kenyans.